While I'm exploring the unknown no man's land, women start to cross in their 40s and 50s. I want to listen to their stories. I want to know more about their dreams, their visions, and their mission. I want to know how life changes when the nests are empty, when there is space to expand and grow into a new purpose, when the call of their soul gets too loud to ignore. I will meet women from all over the world and ask them about how's midlife in their culture. So let's give them a voice and listen to their stories. I wish you a warm welcome on Crossing No Man's Land, a guide for women in their 40s and 50s to find value and purpose in their new chapter of life. Today, my guest is Liliana Rosas. She was born in Eternal Spring. That's the name of the city where she grew up in Mexico. Now she lives in Los Angeles, California. She is the owner of Solounaproduccion and organizes workshops, seminars, and podcasts related to self-healing and self-improvement. Thank you for being here, Liliana. Now, first of all, I'm really curious about you and your business. How did you find out that you are interested in self-healing?
Thank you so much, Mia. I really appreciate that you consider me and my work, to share this with like all of your audience. Thank you so much. Well, it's always been a calling. For much that I trying to deny that that was my destiny, I refuse. But everything since I was a child, I grew up like knowing about service and knowing about medicines and how to heal ourselves. And it's a lot of knowledge, but throughout the way, you get lost because there is other distractions. So, the years went by, and my dad got very sick, and I love my dad very much. So what I did is to start begin studying like ancestral medicine. And as my dad got sick, I have to be with him because I felt that was my calling. So I quit like some of the jobs I had, and I started planning, what is it that I can do. So I figure that I can share my knowledge besides, my work experience, all the things that I had studied throughout the years and that had helped me so much to overcome, right? Any obstacles that that I was facing because of the way I grew up. So, it's like I always believe in destiny, and I believe in a force that, besides our actions, there's someone else caring for us. So to make the story short, I left everything, and that's how I begin Solounaproduccion. I'm trying to apply my knowledge by helping others.
So, talking about healing, as I'm exploring the no man's land between the 40s and 50s, I want to ask you how women are treated in your culture when they come to the age of menopause.
Well, there is a lot of taboos in our society, especially in a country like Mexico, where those are processes that we just have to take. We have to take. Like nobody talks about it. You just have to deal with yourself. But for example, in my family, I never heard anybody talking about menopause, those problems. But as the years went by, and my own experience having to know, why do I get so much cramps, I don't know, that's not normal. And then like going to healing circles, I learned that our ancestors, they use a lot of herbs to help you throughout your process, and they help herbs that they could help you with your hormones, and a lot of spiritual rituals, so that the process is not the main event in your life. It's just a process. And as when you have your first period, or maybe you're going to have a baby, but it's going to be okay, right? So there is a lot of remedies and a lot of ancestral medicine that I learned throughout the way that it's actually helping me a lot, because for example, I do know that there's no way, there's no reason why we should suffer through our menstrual cycle, because I learned with like traditional medicines that there is a way to avoid that. There's no reason why we should, but it's just a commercialization, like someone has to sell something, to us. So going back to your answer, in my family now, my sisters, for example, that they are on the 60s, 50s, they, because of those remedies that I was able to pass through them, that information, they are living their menopause like happily. But in reality, in Mexico, in our society, those are things that we don't talk about. I think we go back to the same thing, it's something that we have to accept, that that's the way it is. And you just have to accept. I do want to highlight this. And it's very important. In my community, in my country, when menopause arrives, sex is over. And it's a lot of the houses, a lot of the homes is like that, the menopause is coming and sex is over. And it's a big lie, and it's very unfortunate, because I think it's the most beautiful natural thing ever. So as we age, we are seen just with like some respect, but we are actually doomed, to not to feel anymore, pretty much. So it's sad. It's very sad. So that's
change.
Pardon?
It's time to change.
It is. And that's why, I'm so happy that I have to live through this, in my life, whatever it was in my past, because I have been able to learn so many things, that every time I see someone who's suffering from like the menstrual cycle spasms, I just said, this is not right. You can't suffer like this. We didn't come here for this, So then I talk to people and I tell them, you should do this and that. There is a lot of venues that we can take, but it's just, it's been so, I think it's because of church, that we have to come to this, unfortunately. And it's just sad, it's sad, but it's not really like seen as a big event, unfortunately. Okay, so if you look back to Africa and check their demographics, you're gonna see that there's not a lot of women who talk about menopause, because they have herbs and they have products that they help them. And of course, I'm sure over there their land is more it's better, the land where they grow their crops and their food and everything. So the key is wild jam. You have no idea. I have helped so many women with wild jam. And that goes to also for because it helps you with your estrogens levels. Yeah, it helps you. Yeah. Instead of dropping, they stay in a level where you're not gonna suffer anymore from menopause. And that's what I give to my sister. And there's also other Chinese medicine, because I studied Chinese medicine too. So there's some other Chinese herbs that they help you to have like the most beautiful and pleasant menstrual period. Like I started doing that like long time ago, and I just, when my period comes, I just said thank you. That's all. I started no pain, nothing, like nothing. The blood flow is beautiful, and then there is another oil that you can take orally, and it's prime rose oil. And that's going to help you too with your glands, but also to not to lose the moisture on your private parts.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's that's what, so it's a combination of Native American, Chinese medicine, and African. It's a whole mix of those um Mother Earth gifts. But it's like, I mean, I have given it to a lot of people.
Yeah.
um
So we will put all the information below in
okay.
below the video. And
Okay.
uh, if people want to know more about you, so we put as well the link.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So
Yeah, I'll appreciate it.
so have a good day and
Thank you so much. Thank
see
you.
you
and
soon.
and I just wanted to finish by saying that I love your work and I love your enthusiasm.
Thank
And I love that you are here, to talk for us, for a lot of girls and women who um, want to know what's ahead of them, because it's very important. It's
thank
very important. Yeah. Thank you so much.